All right. A little bit of Dynamite. It's late, I know. This is late. I had issues. Best way to say it. Let me give you like this. I watched it, and I didn't see JD or Alex's video yet. But I did see the caption of his video, talking about boring and giving away the ending of Forbidden Door. Now, I watched the show. Was it bad? No. Was it simple? Yeah. Now, there are two ways you can see that. One, it's too damn boring, it's simplified, I don't care about it. Another is that instead of chaotic booking that we had for quite a long time, where it looks like they were just throwing anything at the wall and you're getting nothing but just confusion, they are giving us a straight path that's simplified. Now, does it seem to be a bit boring? Yeah, but like I said the last couple of times, that at least is not a bad thing. Yes, you're not going to be excited about Dynamite. I'm not going to be lying to you. Dynamite, even with all the great matches, booking when it comes to storytelling is a bit boring. But I want to make this clear. If you had nothing but chaotic booking where it was start and stop, where you didn't even go anywhere with most of the booking, and now you've gone to kind of boring booking, that you do have at least certain people that have stories, but they almost look totally predictable, that is an improvement. Doesn't mean it's a great improvement, but it's an improvement that if they focus on trying to go from this to this and then this, it's worth it. But we don't know that yet. I'm not optimistic or pessimistic. I am just telling you what we have right now. We have a company that is giving us booking compared to 6 months ago, which was so chaotic that why would you watch? You barely got any type of booking when it came to the matches. You had almost no story, and what stories you had was so convoluted, or worse, they started doing it and then they just dropped it. This is different. I'm not saying it's great different, but it's different. It's somewhere where you don't know if it's going to improve, but you are glad you got it. Let's start with the opening. We get in Houston, Texas, Kenny versus Tony Nese, which wasn't much. Nothing there. Now, I know I can talk about the opening in the back. I'm not doing that. I'm going to do that at the 12-man tag. But here, you see Tony Nese, a guy who can wrestle and he can talk, but he's not doing anything. I still think he's on RHTV, maybe occasionally going to Collision, but don't know. But I didn't expect them to win anything because of what's going to happen with Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny, so he did a good job, but it didn't last long. He lost. Kenny was about to say something. Zack Sabre Jr. and TMDK came out. We still don't know what it means. I don't know what TMDK is, and I don't really care. But I will say this, that Kenny did say that once the Bucks and who was Jack Perry was with him, because DMTK was about to come and attack him. Or at least that's what it looked like. The talk after that, when Kenny was saying, you got a great credentials and you will, if you can beat me, get a really good feather in your cap. But that's the same for me. So get ready. Don't let your boys be there. I won't let my boys be there. Let's just have a real match of Forbidden Door. It's simple. But I want to say this. Do I care about Zack Sabre Jr.? No. I don't give two damn flips about Zack until he goes to AEW TV. Here's the thing. Forbidden Door as a concept, and I agree with JD, it needs to go away for a while. It needs to stop. There is no point in Forbidden Door anymore. Look what's going on with WWE. They're working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. They did that. They sent Natty over to NWA. Even if she's not one of the bigger players, you never heard of a WWE wrestler being allowed to go to another company. You haven't. So seeing this is what you get. So I would rather him take away Forbidden Door for about a year and two, and then bring it back with some good stories and some good matches you normally wouldn't see. That's what we need, but we're not getting it. Match 2. Tag match. You got Garcia and Mox versus Brodito. They're back together. Did I care about the match? No. But this was meant for Bandito to get his shot at that. Well, let me give it to you like this. Do I care about the Continental Championship? No. But at least it is being booked better than, and I want to make this clear, they're not having him defended every time. They're not. It's not constant that he's basically doing the Continental Championship all the time. Look, he just did a tag match and he lost. Now, does that mean he's going to lose when he does the title? Of course not. Moxley wants to keep that title. He should have gone away for a couple of months. He hasn't done it, like I said. They're going to let him keep it. But at least compared to the titles they have in WWE, where they've had open challenges upon open challenges upon open challenges, they seem to stop, but then they go back to it again. It is better than what they got. And the International Championship in TNA, where it's not 100% an open challenge most of the time, but at least they do try to change it up a little bit. And I am going to do a video about Tommy Dreamer and, 3 videos. Tommy Dreamer with Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard, that one, and maybe one more I'm considering. But you'll probably see the other 2 soon. But this is what you get. Next, the Owen Hart tournament. You get Hazuki versus Mercedes Moné in the semifinals. Let's make this clear. Did I care? No, because I know what's going to happen. This is where the boring booking comes in. We're not happy about it. Mercedes is easily going to be near the end. She's going to the finals now. She is. But it's being heavily predictable. That's the problem. We knew it was going to happen. They had to try and compensate it with the match. Now, Hazuki, she's not a bad-looking woman. She got these. She got some big ones. They ain't small. You see her running. Those suckers are... Her top was doing a lot of work to keep them from popping out. But let me give you like this. Was she a good wrestler? She was. She wasn't bad. She did botch at least once trying to do a hip toss from the second turnbuckle when she was about to grab Mercedes. See, throat. She wasn't a bad wrestler. And I understand she's been working Collision. Here's the thing. If you're using Japanese wrestlers, the problem you have is that they don't book them very well. Yes, you got Okada being booked well because he was signed very well with a big contract. And you got Kateska being booked well. He's got a good contract and has been spotlighted well. He can talk, so can Okada can talk. But Hazuki, they are historically bad when it comes to the women. Emi Sakura, who can speak English, should have been pushed. It doesn't matter if she would get any titles. Relevancy would have been important. Rio, she needed to learn how to speak some English. At least if she did speak English, they didn't let her do it. Hiro Kushida, she could speak English for quite a while. We know she could speak English. They didn't let her speak it. And when she was working with Chris Statlander, she finally was allowed to speak English. But by then, she was cold as ice. Every woman that's Japanese has been booked horribly. It's been unmerciful. It's been horrible. Flat out. And I've hated it. And we get this woman who's going back and forth between Stardom and Collision. Let's make this clear. Would they put her on the roster? Yeah, if she becomes a part of the roster. Do I care? No, because they never booked them correctly. They need either a mouthpiece or be allowed to speak if they can speak English. Let them speak English. Let me make it clear. Mina Shirakawa, loved the woman. She's sexy, she can talk, she knows her tits look good, and she uses them to the best advantage to make people think about her. There's no lie about it. She she had been pushed. And people liked her because they let her do the work. She can do the work in the ring. She could talk English. She can hold a character. But now, doing really not much with her. Moving on. Next match. Oh, is there another one? I'm missing something here. I think I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3. Am I missing one? No. Oh, it's only 4 matches. If I'm right, it was 4 matches because of the 12-man tag. Okay, Okay, hang on. Before I do this, let me give you this, guys. It's good to see they did do only 4 matches. But now, the part we got to talk about is the content itself. Let's make it clear. MJF, seeing that he had his moment with the Don Callis family, belittled a little bit of Andrade, gave a little bit of credit to a Kevin Knight, but then made sure Kyle Fletcher was the one who seemed to be the most talented. The key of this is it looks like they're really trying to push Andrade to be something. The 12-man tag, which I do not agree with because MJF is injured, but we know they'll work injured, and they are working injured, I believe was not necessary for MJF to get in the ring because I still don't know what JD was talking about when they gave away the ending of Forbidden Door because I haven't watched it yet. But if he's talking about how the ending happened with easily you see Mark didn't get the win, and legitimately when you see the situation that MJF had to do the salt of the earth on Robert Strom, you see there's a possibility of cheating. And that's what I think they're trying to cover. Because, if I'm right, with JD and Jesse, if that's what's going to be talked about, I'll be checking it later. But if it's because they know that he's going to cheat, he still has the freaking Dynamite Diamond ring. I hate that Bandito won the Dynamite Diamond ring. He won it. But he shouldn't be allowed to show any more rings. The ring should have been singular, but he now has won 4 rings, or was it 5 rings? 4 rings. 4 rings before Bandito did. And honestly, it was, 5 rings, 5 rings before MJF did. And MJF should not be allowed to use that ring anymore. It should be gone, and he's still using it. So it makes you think he's going to cheat. Either to use the ring in the Don Callis family, or someone's going to do something screwy. So that's what I think they're talking about. Now, let me say this. I want to say this. When it comes to the content of Will Ospreay, when he was talking with Swerve Strickland, it was good. It wasn't bad. It filled in a couple of gaps, particularly finding out why are you working with the Death Riders. And Will made it very clear, look, I haven't forgiven them, I haven't forgotten them, but I had to let it go because my neck was screwed up and I needed something more. And guess what? Swerve was right. Will has changed due to the fact that he may not trust the Death Riders completely. He may not like the Death Riders completely, but he can trust them enough that when he needs backup, they'll be there. If he needs training, they'll give it to him. And when you saw after it was over with Swerve telling him, I have beaten you for the last 10 years, I'm going to keep beating you, and not taking away what he said about me and you, we make magic. For 10 years, we've always made magic, but I've always beaten you, but you and I have the same type of attitude. We destroy what's in front of us. We make sure that we make them think about us. We're both the same. He doesn't say, I love you, you're my brother, but I'm sorry, I'm going to kick your ass. He doesn't say it, but he makes it very clear. Whatever we got between us is not going to stop me, particularly that what you said about Hangman Page being the one who would stop Moxley. And what happened? He's not even here. He's disappeared because he lost to MJF. What you made me do, stepping aside for Hangman, was a stupid piece of shit. And he cursed. He said, I gotta step aside for someone else, fuck that. They did curse, and I do believe it was Excalibur who had to apologize. You know they're going to have to pay a $10,000 fine for that. You don't curse. But here's the thing. Did it feel real? Yes. The part that felt the most real was the honesty about they gave up, both of them, for somebody else to try and get back what they both want. And hearing Will say, this is my dream to go to Wembley, to have my cup moment, the World Cup moment in pro wrestling. I know you're on redemption. I don't fucking care. You're in my way. I don't care if you're my brother or my friend. I'm going through you. That is real. In that respect of the story, it felt real enough. But here's the big question now. When Wembley rolls around, and it's coming soon, what are we really going to get? What are we really going to get in Wembley? And what will give us going forward? Because let's make this very clear. If Will does continue, which I do believe, and he will be the one to go to Wembley, the question's going to be, flat out, what do we really get here? Because the booking going into Wembley is now the most important. If they don't make people important by the time Wembley is, because of where we are now in the year, this is going to fall on his face, and it's going to hurt AEW. But it's just me. The vid pack for Maya World on with let me give you like this. Seeing that she had that vid pack, and this is still the Owen Hart tournament, and she's going against Athena. Look, it hurts me that she lost her brother. It hurts. But if I'm going to be really honest here, this girl should not win shit. It is not meant to be insulting to her, but this should be about Athena. Athena should be going up against, guess who? Mercedes. Not Maya World. It should be Mercedes. Do I believe it's going to happen? No, because they're going to try and make this the ultimate bad girl who's going to win the second time in a row, possibly, let me give it to you like this. When you look at this situation, when it comes to the Owen Hart tournament, Mercedes looks like she's a winner. That's what it comes down to. It should be Athena that should be winning this entire tournament. I'm being honest here. Athena should win it because Mercedes doesn't need this moment. Athena should get it because Athena has done a lot of work on ROH. She's held the title for more than 2 years at this point, or nearly 2 years. And she should be on the main roster. This would do it for her. But do I believe it'll happen? No. What will happen is Athena will be beaten by Maya World, and Maya will probably go and meet up with Mercedes. And do I want to see that? Honestly, no. I'd rather see Mercedes not be the one to win it, or if she's got to win it, let it be against Athena and let Athena win. Why not let Athena, who's been working with this company for years, have this moment? But I just don't see it. Ciampa. Am I interested in Ciampa and Chris Jericho? I wish it had been about ECW versus WCW. Or better yet, no, my mistake. Because Chris Jericho was in WCW, he never went to ECW. As far as I know, he never went. If he did it briefly. WCW versus ROH. That's what this should be about. My mistake. Sorry, guys. I want to see a story where an ROH guy in Ciampa really, really wanted to make it clear that an old WCW wrestler who went to WWE, and he could have said the same thing. I respect him, but this is not the same person who became AEW's first champion. This feels like someone who sold out like in WCW, and you could have made it about that. I was a loyalist to ROH. Yes, I went to where the same place we went to, but I was recognized and I've never forgotten it. What about you? You're nothing. You're one of them. And you used to be WCW. You used to be loyal. You should be ashamed of yourself. But That's the way it was in WCW anyway. They backstabbed anyway. So you are loyal to WCW ideals. You backstab and do anything anyway. That's what I would have wanted. Honestly, that's the way I wanted it. But I don't know how far they're going to go with this, but I wish it was ROH versus WCW. Just being honest here. And overall, and I know you're going to say, what about the Dogs and CNC? Don't know yet. They're going to say they're going to have a match at Forbidden Door, I'm sure, but I just don't know yet about the Dogs. I'm really not interested. But what did I feel about the story of this show? I think that might be the title story of the show. Some of it was boring, some of it was predictable, and okay matches to good matches. Easily. But that might not be a bad thing if it's a boring show compared. Remember, we're going from this chaotic to now boring. You can go up from there. You can't go anywhere from this if you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, throwing anything at the wall to see if it works, to now you're being more stable. You're giving a story. Yeah, many of them are boring, many of them are predictable, but you can go up from that. At least that's an improvement. Just me. Excuse me. Peace.